Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about Yoimiya as well as my build and how I play her because I play her very casually, or I just treat Genshin Impact very casually. So the playstyle that I have is very monkey brain and primitive compared to other players. The way that I play is legitimately I just keep smashing the left click button until things die. It's very simple. And if you look at all the characters that I normally play, the most APM I'll ever do is press 2 buttons. So for example, with Jean, I just hold down left click and I do charge attacks over and over. And then when I need to heal, I'll press Q for ultimate. And occasionally I will use the gravity or boob defying thing over here because that's pretty cool. For Hu Tao, I press E and then I hold down left click over and over again. Very simple. With Ganyu, I press R and then I click left click, and then I click left click. Very simple. With Zhongli, I press E, and occasionally I'll press Q, and that's about it, right? So my playstyle is very simple. I like to oversimplify things. I don't like to make things super duper complicated. So if everything I just said interests you, then keep watching the video. If you're super turned off and you like to min-max and get the fullest potential out of your characters, this video ain't for you. But before we jump into the guide, I upload videos daily, so if you like what you see, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, the first thing we need to talk about are stats. Let me just tell you, my stats are not optimal at all. I literally just put the best that I could afford onto Yoimiya. So her attack is a little bit on the high end with 2.3k, almost 2.4k, but there is a trade-off, and the problem for me at least is the crit damage. My crit damage is considered relatively low. Now of course, you know, I should be exchanging crit rate and sacrificing that in order to get crit damage. The golden ratio for crit rate to crit damage is 1:2. So over here I really should be looking more at like 150 to 160 crit damage instead of what I have over here with 99. But you know, you gotta make do with what you have. Now as for the weapon, I use the Yoimiya bow at refinement level 5. So this increases my regular attack damage by 32%. However, when my energy is full, this will double that. So it goes up to 64% more auto attack damage and 48% more charge attack damage. But I'm never going to be using any charge attacks on my Yoimiya because that's too much effort and I just like the left click. Now the Yoimiya bow is not the best 4-star weapon for Yoimiya. There's been a bunch of people doing big mumbo jumbo math stuff, but the TLDR is if you have a rust, just use the rust. The Yoimiya bow is like a close second with the prototype crescent. However, the prototype crescent requires you to hit a weak spot first in order to gain the extra DPS increase for 10 seconds, and that's too much effort. My monkey brain can't comprehend that, and so I just like to use the Yoimiya because it's very easy to understand. When your ultimate is full, you get more damage, so just always have the ultimate at full energy so you deal big PP damage. Very easy. Now as for all the other 4-star weapons, I have no idea, and honestly I really don't care. And for 5-star options, just use whatever 5-star weapon you have. But let's say that you are a Giga Whale and you have the Thundering Pulse, you have the Skyward Harp, and you have the Amos Bow. It is a toss-up between the Amos Bow and the Thundering Pulse. You can use either of those 2 weapons and that is going to be your best in slot. Now obviously if you have refinements, then mumbo jumbo gets real, so I don't know because I don't have those weapons. Next up is the artifacts. Now a lot of people are going to tell you to go the Shiminawa set, but I don't like this set because this set clashes with the weapon that I use because I don't have a rust. But basically whenever you activate your E, you're going to lose 15 energy. But you gain extra damage for 10 seconds. It just so happens that her E lasts for 10 seconds or is active for 10 seconds. So it's really good synergy there, but you have to make sure that you're not using the Yoimiya bow if you're using that set, because you're going to be losing 32% damage over here on your normal attacks if your energy is not full or if your ultimate is not ready. So that's why I don't use it, and it's just too giga brain for me. So I opt for the Crimson Witch of Flames and the Gladiator Finale. You don't have to use Gladiator Finale. You can also use 2-piece Shiminawas because they both do the same thing. They both give you 18% attack. So just pick whatever has the better substats. And the Crimson Witch of Flames just gives pyro damage bonus plus 15%, and since you're always shooting fire arrows, because that's how her kit works, it's super duper easy. Now this is my favorite set because it is the most monkey brain set. Like, you literally cannot mess up. There are no conditions for your damage. It's just, you hit enemy, you do big PP damage, they die. It's that simple. And this is why I prefer this set over all of the other sets. No, it's not going to be dealing as much damage as the Shiminawas, but the Shiminawas has certain conditions, and you have to use your Giga Big Brain and cycle through all that stuff. But I'm too monkey brain, and I don't care. Constellation! I'm Constellation 0, because I'm not going to be wasting any more of my Primogens, because I want Ball as well. So I'm greedy, I want all the waifus. As for my talents, I am level 9 on normal attacks, level 8 on the E, and level 4 on the ultimate. The reason for this is because I never use my ultimate. I know it's a DPS loss, I know the ultimate can proc extra damage, blah blah blah, but it's too complicated for me, right? I want my 64% damage all the time. I don't care about the ultimate, and I'm just never going to use it. So when I'm running around in the open world, my Q or my ultimate is always maxed out. It's always ready to be used, but I'm never going to press it. I'm literally, when I go engage an enemy, I press E and I auto attack and I just deal tons of damage. Alright, next up is team composition. Yoimiya is very similar to Ganyu in the sense that if she gets hit like twice, she's dead. So she needs a shielder. So I recommend Zhongli if you have him, because he just makes the team invulnerable and you never die basically. Noelle if you don't have Zhongli, or you can use Diona or even Beidou. So those are probably my first picks basically for shielders. I have Zhongli, so I use Zhongli on the team because it just makes my life easier. But obviously if you don't have that, you can just Giga Chad with Noelle, or Giga Chad with Diona, or even Beidou. They're all really good choices, okay? And we all got a Beidou for free if you did the previous event anyway. So now we've got Yoimiya and we've got a shielder. The next one is an electric unit. So if you're using Beidou as your electric unit, you're fine, because what you want to do is you want to do overload, because Yoimiya is a range unit, so she's shooting fire arrows, and the thing about overload is when there's lightning and fire, you combine that together, you blast enemies away from you. So it's really nice on Yoimiya specifically because she's a range unit and you can juggle people up in the air and they're literally stuck in the air until you stop auto attacking. And the auto aim system is a little bit finicky when there's like a bajillion units around you, but against a boss, this is super duper nice. But since my shielder is Zhongli, which is a Geo unit, I have Fischl. Now my Fischl is Constellation 6, which means every time Yoimiya auto attacks, Oz will also auto attack. As it says here, Oz performs joint attacks with your active character when present, dealing 30% of Fischl's attack as electro damage. So basically every time I attack, Oz will attack, and it makes my life super easy because I'm constantly proccing electric and I am proccing Yoimiya's fire arrows, which causes overload and keeps the enemies away from me so I can keep attacking. Now the last unit I have is Bennett. Bennett is my healer and my buffer. I do not have Bennett geared at all. He's actually really I just kind of threw random stuff at him. But you guys are probably sick of me going blah 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 and you just want to see me kill something. So let's go kill something. So we're gonna go to the flower because the flower likes to get bullied. So it's very simple. First step, put a shield, protection, always wear protection. We're gonna hit that once. I'm gonna hit that twice. Okay, bam. And we're gonna break it in the third one, all right? And boom. Okay, so we're gonna use our ult. We're gonna summon Fischl's bird, switch to Yoimiya, press E, and then we're left click, left click, left click, click. Oh, it died. See? So it's very straightforward. You can see that when Yoimiya was in Bennett's circle, her attack went up to 2,881. So this is a lot of attack. But again, you see my main issue, or the thing that I need to improve on my character, is to get more crit damage so that she can hit even harder. But the TLDR is Yoimiya super duper fun. I actually progressed quite a bit in the Abyss because of her, because of how simple her playstyle is. You just press E and left click, and everything dies. So in conclusion, Yoimiya is not gonna be as powerful as Hu Tao, as Ganyu. She's not at that level of OP broken, alright? but she is a very fun unit and a very easy unit to use, especially if you're monkey brain like myself. You know, you don't like pushing 7 different buttons. Okay, it's more like 3, but you don't like pushing multiple buttons and thinking about different cooldowns and blah blah blah, and you just want to left click. You want to hold down one button, you just want to pew, pew, pew. If that is the playstyle that you enjoy, then Yoimiya is a great pick. Now, I personally think Yoimiya is going to pair very well with the Raiden Shogun or Ball, mainly because she's also electric, and so, you know, with the synergy that I've seen so far with Overload with Yoimiya, she's kind of filling the same role with like Tartaglia, how you enable a lot of chain reactions, a lot of crazy explosions and stuff like that. And that is what I think Yoimiya's role is going to be in the future. But for now, I'm definitely going to be messing around with her as a main DPS. I'm just going to build a team around her to make her feel as powerful as possible so that I have a ton of fun. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
What can I say except you're welcome?